Hi, it's Jo, and today I'm going to be watching Batwoman Season 3, Episode 1, Mad as a Hatter. And I cannot believe this show is back already. I am so happy it is back in its normal time slot rather than COVID affected time slot, which makes me hopeful that other CW shows and other shows in general are just going to come out in their more usual time going forward, which will be good. We've not had to wait too long to get back to these wonderful characters. I'm so excited to keep watching. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go. Jesus Christ, of course. 30.
Take long for the psychiatric will not stand trial, but instead will continue her residency at Arkham Asylum.
I mean, if Arkham was, you know, not a terrible place, that would be an appropriate place for her to be.
So much fun doing it.
Oh, this is gonna be wonderful.
My dear sweet Alice.
Just another day in the office.
Oh yeah, psychic.
Ooh, Luke.
No sidekick actually likes being referred to as a sidekick.
Copy that. My number 2 dude.
Nope, not that either.
I'd just like to point out that, you know, I appreciate Luke's helmet, and I hope his neck is covered as well.
I'm not giving up on you this time. More to come.
What the fuck?
The Dork Knight.
I love it so much.
I don't know if I just got it wet. Keep it away from the light.
That might just be some of it. There's no guarantee that's all of it, especially if it expands in water and it fell in a river. Luke? Luke. If there are going to be teething issues, it's going to be okay. It's okay, Luke. Oh. He's not doing too well. Gunshots.
Graduate med school tomorrow.
Yay!
And Dad,
I'm not.
I don't feel like any kind of facility to hold the criminal or the criminally insane would let you get a letter that literally said, I'm going to rescue you, I'm going to get you out of here. Like, that would be the sort of thing that would, because they read all mail, that would be, you know, screened before it got through.
I didn't freeze up, the suit did.
No,
It just glitches out
Luke.
sometimes.
Because I can't be watching over our asses.
Yeah, I know that, and I'll fix it.
Luke, sweetheart. Luke, you were shot and nearly died. It is okay if you're struggling with that. Now, if it was just a suit malfunction, then that is fine. We can work with it. But I think it was more than that, my darling.
I'll just be graduating tomorrow. You know,
Mary.
valedictorian, top of my class, but as long as Alice...
I mean, she managed to do all of that while being on the Bat team.
I know your family can't be there tomorrow, but this family can, and we won't miss it.
Yes.
You know you drank too much when you're seeing Leprechaun. Free Alice? That woman is a full-blown lunatic.
Look, Alice should be in a place for the criminally insane to help her recover. Oh Lord, what does it
Alice is just
do?
another victim of... Dude, what did you just say?
I mean, she probably does deserve a trial before she's held there, but then even if she was freed, should she be sent to a place for insane people so she can get the help she needs?
Kill him. I'm not killing my friend.
Holy shit. Does it have limitations or can you make them do that? Oh wow.
Mad as the Hatter.
Jesus Christ. Where are we? Who is this?
And annoying.
I know Bruce keeps trophies in every universe, but he should just destroy these things.
Without falling victim to it in the process.
Exactly.
Hertz of frequency.
Ooh.
Your dad figured out how to disrupt the hat's radio
Good, good,
waves.
good.
Okay, so...
Behind these walls. You came
I-
because you want home.
I don't-
Pretty deep.
It's so weird because I don't like the concept of her not getting a trial, but at the same time, we know she did do everything that she did. And if Arkham wasn't Arkham, I would support her being somewhere, like, where she was getting proper care.
Am I lonely? Look at your life.
Yeah, she's
Your
got...
closest emotional connection is an ex and witness protection.
No, she's
You
Ryan
have no
and...
one.
She's Ryan. She's Mary and
I
Luke.
gave you so close to you couldn't even tell your birth mother lied to you all these years.
It's because she doesn't believe you.
Maybe he's chatted about it with Alice. And
Maybe he's gonna come to your medical school graduation. Because you're Alice's family.
Fine.
I love Sophie being free from the crows.
Who's the stager girl you ditched me for last night?
I thought her name was Riley.
I'm allowed to date multiple women at once.
So I take
I
it
mean-
they're not happening?
Date them at
They're
once.
good. They're friends, but it's too complicated for anything more right now.
Thank you, Mary.
Where is Kate anyway? If she's off being
All of
busy.
that. Brian Wilde.
Don't believe a word Alice says.
There's still a part of you that can't help but wonder, is my mom still alive?
Exactly.
What if I have a family out there?
Want me to look into it?
You have a family right here,
Deal.
but Sophie would be the perfect person to look into it.
Thank you.
Testing. 1, 2.
Yes, exactly where I thought this bastard would try and go. Oh lord.
Fatigue.
Mary just deserves one nice thing in her life. One nice night.
The attending physician.
Ryan's 2 years younger than me. I'm so old. It's fine. Oh no, Ryan's a year and a half younger than me. It's all fine. Sorry, in my head, people born in 95 are still 5 years old, which I know makes zero logical sense.
Shady doctor, here we go.
Oh, Alice was onto something. Of course she was. Oh, Mary just deserves a lovely night, and I'm so bitter about this.
She paid him $2 million after her so-called emergency surgery.
Okay.
$2 million to cover up her pregnancy with me.
So Ryan has an extraordinarily rich family.
I have no idea.
I imagine it was
Still alive,
someone
Ryan.
that didn't want their reputation ruined or
My dad.
their status.
I get that too.
I'm sorry though, if I found out that my I love my mum. There's no chance of this. But if I was Ryan and I found out that I had a fucking super rich parent that just did that to me and left me and didn't even leave me with like a weird trust fund or something to make sure I was financially okay or just in general okay, I would be finding them, blowing their life up and trying to get my share of the cash. Though also then there was the emotional fallout which would also destroy me. But you know.
2-drink limit?
Oh, Luke.
What are we talking about?
Oh, Mary. You know Jacob is proud wherever the fuck he is. I know Kate's off on some Bruce locating mission last we saw her, and they probably don't want to have us having her. I don't know, I'm intrigued about what we're going to have with Kate if she'll ever be a regular person. But I do feel like she'd be at Mary's graduation. Right?
Dr. Hamilton.
Oh
You are
no.
the spitting image of your mother.
Mary just deserves one fucking nice night.
That bandage cost $300.
Come on, you know that's not Mary.
What happened to the Gotham medical community?
This is not true, but...
It's not Mary talking. He got to her. He's here.
You
What
need
about
to...
the fact that she was victimized? She was replaced
Oh, Mary.
by me.
Mary.
Take your seats until I instruct you otherwise.
Fuck. How are they going to get out of here without him seeing them?
Now,
Please say Kate arrived as a surprise and had the...
Oh.
To reverse it before Mary kills that guy.
How? Ask nicely.
There is one person to listen to.
Okay, Alice.
No. To break Alice out of Arkham first.
Fuck. We can't... Oh, Lord.
Resource that he has left to get me out of
Alice, I love that she's just telling her doctor, I'm going to break out.
No one is coming to rescue you.
God. Oh, God.
Mary needs you! Open Dad! Dad is gonna take me away from Gotham! From all of you!
Okay, Alice, maybe he is. Are there not even any postcards? Did she make them all up?
From a magazine, Alice. It's
She's
for soap.
totally imagining. I was going to say, like, why the fuck would Arkham give them to her?
A napkin from the cafeteria.
He's coming. Because he promised me he's coming.
Alice deserves real medical attention and psychiatric evaluation. If she would just let her real freaking feelings out more often, we might see that there was someone in there that was savable. But around everybody else, she acts like there isn't.
Freya Koreskian dies just like the Mad Hatter guy wanted. It'll break his mind control.
Oh,
Then we pray like hell you can bring Dr. Hall back to life.
Mary just deserved a really nice night. Oh, Lord. Come on, Luke, you've got this.
The damn suit fritzed out again.
Luke, is it the suit or is it when you get frightened?
Why should I be institutionalized? Because you think I'm crazy? Because I see the world a little differently?
Yes, because you're trying to murder people and that you should be put behind bars.
Surprised you're addicted to medication. Surprised you're
Yes, there needs to be a lot of help, but murdering them,
I'm not
especially before they've done any of that, is not the answer.
Any.
it wasn't for you, guys like me wouldn't have heroes. Stop killing yourselves. Get out of here.
Is this going to be a wake-up call to Alice? If it wasn't for you, guys like me wouldn't have heroes? Because she's not as far gone as she used to be.
Earn me a hug?
Is she going to stab him or is she going to grab the hat? Yeah.
You couldn't see Jay. You didn't think I was actually gonna let you go.
Alice.
You two-faced bitch.
Alice, you're a murderer!
I saved all of you. You somehow thought the day would undo the hundreds of horrific things you've done.
Exactly. If Alice had just agreed to go with her the second Ryan said, Mary's in danger, we need you, I would be like, oh, you know, she actually tried to do the right thing. She only agreed to it when Ryan said, I will let you go.
Because your family might be more screwed up than mine.
Get her out of here.
Alice, you need genuine medical help.
He did make some good points about the medical community.
Oh, he did.
Like,
But
for one,
his methods invalidated
Referring to
everything.
troubled people, for the people who love you to know that you are a true hero.
Exactly.
And
I
at
love
least we get to
this.
call you Dr. Hamilton.
Congrats, Rumi.
cheers.
I'm proud of you too. Especially you did all of that while being in the Bat team and going through everything
Still
you've
early,
been through.
But I be your wingman again, so.
Wait a minute.
Batwing. My Batwingman.
Batwing? That's good.
I'll take that into consideration. Nice.
Luke, I think your suit keeps crashing because it's reading your... I support this decision fully, but I also feel like were Ryan to go down this path at any point,
And consider it out of your life.
it wouldn't be as devastating to her in the sense that she has a real family that she could fall back on and be like, whoa, my mother was a bitch. Whereas like, not crazy. Needing assistance mentally, Liam, whatever his name was, he didn't have that. Is this her family? I'm sorry, if they could casually drop $2 million, she could get so much money from them and make so much good with them. Well, here's her mum.
On you, man.
You have a child that you abandoned and she went through hell.
Because I'm your dad, and I always know when you need me.
Oh. Oh, okay. She should have been there always, but...
Where'd you get this list?
From me. In exchange for my freedom.
Jesus Christ!
Why did you call me?
So is she like a Suicide Squad-esque?
She's got the mind of a psychopath, so together you two are gonna find and stop every freak
Oh,
who gets
Lord.
his hands on one of these weapons. Ryan Wilder.
Wow. All that time,
Alice needs to do more of showing her vulnerable... I know it's hard for her. If she shows more of her vulnerable side, the side of her that is underneath all of this, I'm Alice bluster, that is a little bit more Beth-like than it used to be, to Ryan, to Mary, to everybody, if she's able to show them more of how some of what breaking the Enigma's control of her, etc., has helped her become a little less murdery than she used to be, you know, that would go a long way. But at the same time, I will never ever... She's killed a lot of people, and she does need to do some kind of acknowledgement that that is not a good thing. And I'm stressed.
Answer the question. You win?
How much control do you have over Alice? Like, if Alice decides to kill someone tomorrow, it's on you, not me. Do we have that established? Because, like, today, when I used her, it was a last resort. There was no other choice. You're doing this all smugly and threateningly. If Alice kills anybody else, you're gonna go to sit next to her in jail? I hope she doesn't. I hope she is changed, but...
sounds like I don't have a choice.
Okay, so that is one very inventive way to keep Alice in the plot, to keep Alice relevant, because obviously as soon as Kate went away, she was kind of less relevant, and being a villainous character, that's something that I've been advocating for, is that if we get to like season 5 and Alice is still frolicking around Gotham, being, you know, nefarious here and there, it will be, I mean, she'll still be a very enjoyable character, that's never been something I've been arguing against, but it will be like, here we go again, same old, you know, shows never work when they repeat the same formula endlessly. You need to have a little bit of originality. Now this is original if the whole concept of this season, or at least the beginning of this season, is going to be us working with Alice. But what, for Alice, in my opinion, and I'm fully aware that this is just my opinion, for Alice to become a character that has longevity, a character that we could see grow and change over the course of the show, because every character should be growing and changing, she needs to really acknowledge some remorse for what she's done, to acknowledge that she hates the person she used to be, because we've seen that, like the audience has had glimpses of that kind of feeling, and then around all of the good guys she's always like, I don't feel things, and it's frustrating because the couple of times where she has let that vulnerable side out, because it's so rare, they all immediately assume she's faking it, because of course they do. So Alice is still a frustrating character to me in the sense that I adore her. I've been rooting for her to kind of become more Beth-like since we found out she was Beth. But at the same time, it's one of those very interesting grey area questions where it's how culpable is Alice for the crime she's committed, if she, you know, was tortured first, if she had, like, mind control put in there. But then it wasn't fully mind control, it just kind of made her forget the time that she loved, but did that alter her perceptions of love? And, like, it's just a huge question with Alice, and I am excited to keep exploring. But I'm also just very, very nervous because she's just a hard character to predict, and I hate that she told someone Ryan's secret so readily. Of course she did it. It makes perfect sense with Alice, but at the same time, I think it shows you that she isn't developing. And sure, she did it petulantly as of a, you lied to me and so I'm telling someone your name. You know, it was very childish. It wasn't like a mastermind scheme, but at the same time, it does kind of show that, like, she has no recognition for the fact that Ryan couldn't just free her and let her loose. I don't know why this policewoman who's not a policewoman, who works in City Hall, who wants a rogue unit, I'm assuming Alice is her first rogue. Now I can definitely see the logic of recruiting ex-criminals to go against other criminals, because, you know, someone that can understand the way a criminal's mind works is useful, but at the same time I feel like said criminal needs to show that they are genuinely an ex-criminal. You know, yes, Alice came, and yes, Alice stopped the Mad Hatter guy, but she only did that when Ryan offered her the chance to escape. When Ryan was just saying, I need your help, she wasn't like, oh yeah, sure, because, you know, if she truly, even believing Jacob was coming to get her, she could have said to Ryan, yes, okay, sure, but then you have to bring me back so my dad can rescue me. That would be like, okay, cool, Alice, yeah, we'll bring you right back. Now, do I feel terribly sorry for her with her imagining her cell being brighter and her imagining getting postcards from her dad who loved her and was never going to forget her? Yes, it is very painful. Beth, like the girl she was and everything she's been through, that pains me, that destroys me. Every time we've seen emotional Alice, I have loved it and I've been so excited, but then every time we've seen that, she's taken like 10 steps backwards. So I am still stressed with her. I'm still so stressed about her character and where it's going to go, and there's always a danger with characters like Alice that because they are sympathetic, because there are elements to her story where she is just a victim, it's easy to kind of be like, oh, we should just let her go and it's all fine, and aren't they bad guys for not forgiving her? Whereas, you know, Alice murdered Mary's mother. Alice allowed Ryan's mother to die. Alice has killed and killed and killed and killed. And yes, she's done much less of that, if potentially not, basically none of that, recently. She's still killed a lot of people, and we need more evidence that she's not going to backslide into that before we can fully trust her and forgive her. You know, someone that's been through such a lot of psychological abuse, who has been potentially, like, had her ability to love or whatever, compassion altered. Yes, when that's undone, if she starts to heal down the process, I do think kind of like life in prison is a bit harsh, but at the end of the day, if someone is a serial killer, they kind of should get life in prison. And I know it is so hard with Alice when you think of how much wrong has been done to her, and I don't agree with Arkham, but that is Gotham's only criminal in the insane asylum, so yeah, I don't know what else to do there. She's such a fascinating character, but I don't like her. I love her as a character. The Beth part of her inside of her just kills me every time. I love that part of her. But the Alice persona that she so persistently clings to is a barrier between her and any real growth, in my opinion, and any real bonding or development with these other characters. You know, I get how hard it would be as well to be vulnerable with them. I'm not saying that would be an easy thing for her to do, but I think if she were to be some of the feelings she has inside that she's hiding from, it's when she starts letting those out, when she starts letting Mary, or, I mean, Jacob's in prison, Mary or Jacob or Ryan or Luke or anybody see those, that's when I feel like we're going to get real progress with her. Then we have Sophie, who I'll get to next, because I feel like we kind of had the least about her this episode, in the sense that she is free from the crows. Don't know what she's doing, like, financially or, like, you know, I suppose she had a good salary with the Crow, so she's not exactly desperate for a job. I don't know what she's doing with her life at the moment, other than she is freely being herself, you know. Season 1 Sophie in a marriage to a man that she cared about but could not love. Now Sophie is able to have a string of girlfriends, one night stands. She's just exploring who she is, exploring every avenue of who she is. And I kind of do feel like for Sophie, this is the healthiest. I mean, I don't like the idea of her seriously dating multiple people at once, but if it's everyone knows it's just some casual stuff, then that's, I support you. Cheating is bad, but you're just having fun, I support. I think in a lot of ways, her fully exploring her sexuality and who she is going to be so beneficial to her whenever she starts to form a real genuine love connection, because, and I hope it's with Kate, because I want Kate to come back. Kate can join the Bat team, we can get her another identity within the Bat team, because Kate's not the same person she used to be, so she can come back and she can be, I can't think of any other Bat member teams. I mean, she could be Robin, for fuck's sake. That would be really weird. But you know, like, there are so many people, like, she could take on her own identity. And that's what I think I would love for her, because it would mean she was at home with Mary and her family and Luke and everything. But I believe she's currently off looking for Bruce, which I do wonder if we're ever going to get an answer there, or if they're both just going to be in the ether together. But I really am rooting still for Sophie and Kate to get together, but I think at this point they both have a lot of, like, Sophie is well and truly getting her way through the work she needs to do on herself, but they both have a lot they need to work out before they can get there. I love that she was able to use her talents to find out who Mary's birth mother is, and Ryan's birth mother is, now for Ryan's sake. I can totally understand why she just ignored what Alice said to her, because this is Alice. This is an Alice who is petulant and childish, and you've just locked her away, and so she's going to try and strike where it hurts, and so her suddenly being like, oh, your birth mother's alive, is going to be like, sure, and so's yours. You know, like, kind of, you wouldn't want to believe it. And also, I think part of, yes, I think it's been weighing on her all this time, but I also truly believe that right now she's doing okay. She's got people she cares about, she's got people she loves, she's got people that have been there for her through the hard times. They have only grown in their love for each other. They have been there for her through thick and thin, and that family just keeps growing, if anything. That she's okay right now. She doesn't have that desperate drive for a family that she would have done when she was a child, or even like 2 years ago, 1 year ago. And I think in a lot of ways, her choosing to not open that envelope showed a very mature response, a very emotionally mature response, and like responsible response of like, I know who I am and I don't need that piece of paper. Now, the bit that would have intrigued me, maybe it's because I'm petty, would have been knowing that she paid $2 million to pretend that she died in childbirth and that I was a month, like that would get my interest right away, because I like, and again, maybe I'm more like Alice than I want to admit, but I'd be thinking, if I was Ryan, so I grew up bouncing around from foster homes, being miserable. She was kidnapped at one point. Definitely from the way she talked about it seems as though she had a very bad time in most of those foster homes. Been falsely imprisoned and all of this stuff. You're a millionaire and you just dumped your child. Like, literally dumped her. I get that, I presume it was either an affair or she was, you know, for her image, maybe she was a young mother. Maybe it was, I mean, the lady we saw at the end didn't look very old. Maybe, you know, she was too young and she was trying to cover up for her reputation, and because she's from a wealthy family, we don't do that kind of, you know, I assume it was that kind of thing. I mean, even if it was a case of like she was assaulted or something horrific like that, I still think just, she literally abandoned that baby with nothing but a fake name. I mean, I know technically with a baby, legally, can you give your baby any surname you want, or does it have to be like yours? That is an interesting question. But you know, I get that like Ryan's identity is Ryan's identity, it's been there for her whole life. But this is a woman with endless resources who could have secretly done something to make sure Ryan's life wasn't completely bleak. And I'm not even saying like, you know, give her a huge $1 million trust fund or anything like that, but just, she could have set her up with a family. She could have done something more than just faking it and dumping the baby. I would be wanting to meet that woman, wanting to look her in the face, wanting to get my DNA test, and wanting to ruin her life. Okay, not ruin her life necessarily, but I'd want to know why, and I would want, you know, my narrative. Just how much life would be easier if that was the case. But no, just in general, I think I would want to confront her, but I'm also really proud of Ryan for the fact that she doesn't feel the need to. Now, I'm feeling as though the mother is going to find her either in thinking, oh my god, they're going to, like, either thinking that Ryan's about to come after her and try and ruin her life, like I've been kind of semi-joking about, or think kind of she's not thought about Ryan for the past so young, 26 years, and now she's kind of like that part of her mind that's always loved the baby, wants to know about her. I feel like maybe Ryan's not going to get a choice in the matter, but I am proud of her for the choice she's made, and I'm proud of her for how it shows how close she is to our Bat family. For Luke and his bat suit, his Batwing suit, I think it's when, you know, it was in the first fight scene, it was when suddenly bullets were flying at him from everywhere, there were lots of people, it was very overwhelming, and I think it's a totally human response, especially when you're starting out in this kind of situation. Luke is normally behind a desk, to have a bit of a panic attack. But then when you factor in that Luke has been shot and nearly died, I don't blame him in the slightest for when things get a bit overwhelming, freaking out. I think him developing the, well, you know, finishing up the Batwing suit, him getting this identity, going out and fighting, is definitely something that's going to help with his healing over that incident. I mean, as much as it ever could, because he's taking agency, he's being a man of action, he's being the change in the world, rather than just facilitating it. But it's still something he's going to have to process and get through, and maybe his father's voice in the suit's going to help him with that. And like, maybe I'm reading 10,000 times into things and this had nothing to do with him having a panic attack, but I'm so proud of him for doing what he's doing, for having the suit. I'm so proud of him for his head helmet and his neck protection in Titans. I'm having Gotham Thursdays at the moment, but in Titans, I have been screaming about how bullets are flying everywhere and all these characters have their necks exposed and their heads exposed, and yeah, things happen. And like Luke, he just made me feel safe because he had like a helmet and like some sort of material here that I presume is vaguely bulletproof. I mean, Ryan is still a great peril every second, but one of these characters is doing okay. But no, I am just proud of him for his identity and for how much it means to him, and I think he needs to accept that maybe it's not the suit that's wrong, that maybe there's something, I don't know if there's something wrong with him, but there is just something that he still needs to deal with and heal from. Then we have Mary, who, oh, she has my whole heart. I just wanted her to have a nice night. I mean, I knew, obviously, unless the show opened with her graduating, it was never going to be just a nice night, but she deserved it. The fact that kind of she was forced to say those things in front of the same things that her mother said. Now, what he forced Mary to say was not exactly that. It was just, the medical industry sucks. And also, I was a replacement daughter. You know, it's like, okay, cool, I'm sure that people have gossiped about that endlessly, and yeah, everyone knows the medical industry sucks. Like, I don't think it was as much of a, like, big deal as it was when Catherine outed their company for being hideous. But for Mary, it just breaks my heart that this was meant to be her night, her special night, and she has earned that night because she came top of the class despite her mother dying, her sister dying, her sister coming back, Alice existing, being part of the Bat family. She still found time to flourish in medical school, running her clinic. You know, Mary is a superwoman, and I think it's just so sad to me that that kind of got taken away. Obviously, no one is going to think she actually said those words or anything now, and she was able to save the life of the head of her medical school and everything, so you know she's proven herself there, but it was just a lot more trauma that Mary didn't deserve on her one special night. I wish Kate could have been there. I kind of get why she wasn't, because that would have been another person that could have done the fighting, and then we'd have had Kate and Alice coming face to face and a whole lot of other shenanigans going on. But I also feel like unless Kate is about to locate Bruce, she probably should have come back for Mary's graduation. It's not like it was a date that sprung up on her, but I do like that they had her send her the medical coat, and that, you know, she's your sister and she loves you, Mary, and it's not, to her, you're not a replacement, you are her sister, you know. That's so important to me, and I'm excited to see where Mary's journey takes her next. I feel like it's going to have to be continuing the concept of her clinic. I mean, continuing her clinic because it's all legal now, but continuing with helping those who don't have regular access to the expensive medical. That's another thing, actually. Mary runs a clinic for those who are low income, who can't afford everything. America's medical institutions suck. The British government's trying to make ours private, so we'll have a similar thing, you know. But for Mary, she's already dedicated to that, and I think being someone that has such an income herself and such like, she's so rich, we couldn't even comprehend. She could do so much good for this world, and I'm so excited to see it. And I love my Bat family. So I am really excited to see where this show goes next. I'm very scared as well. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you for watching.